Animal agriculture has a major impact on the environment and is considered one of the largest contributors to ecological degradation worldwide. Raising livestock for human consumption generates nearly 15% of total global greenhouse gas emissions, which is greater than all transportation emissions combined. Also, raising animals for food uses vast amounts of land, both for grazing and growing feed crops like soy and corn. Much of the deforestation in regions such as the Amazon is driven by clearing land for cattle or feed production. When forests are cut down, carbon stored in vegetation and soil is released, which accelerates climate change even further. Meat production is the single greatest cause of deforestation globally, with about half of the world's habitable land being used for this purpose. Animal agriculture accounts for about 30% of the planet's freshwater use. It's striking that most of this water isn't for the animals' drinking needs, but for growing their feed crops, which can amount to more than 90% of livestock's total water footprint. Growing crops to feed livestock requires significantly more water than growing fruits, vegetables, and beans for direct human consumption. In fact, producing just 1 pound of beef takes about 1,800 gallons of water, the equivalent of filling 39 bathtubs to the top. On the other hand, a serving of black beans requires only 49 gallons of water. In addition to that, industrial livestock systems produce huge amounts of manure, over 941 billion pounds per year in the U.S. alone, much of it untreated. This runoff contaminates rivers and groundwater with poisonous gases and pathogens. Converting natural ecosystems into pasture or feed cropland destroys habitats, threatening native species. Globally, livestock farming is among the top drivers of species extinction. Adopting a plant-based diet helps the environment in several major ways by reducing resource use and environmental damage associated with animal agriculture. Lowering greenhouse gas emissions is an important part of ensuring the health of our planet. Shifting toward plant-based foods can cut food-related emissions by up to 50%. The plant-based diet uses far less land because plants are eaten directly, rather than cycling calories through animals. This frees land for reforestation or habitat restoration. Plant foods like grains, beans, and vegetables have a much smaller water footprint than water-intensive animal products. Less demand for meat means less pressure to clear natural habitats, helping preserve biodiversity and ecosystems. In short, eating more plants helps cut emissions, save water, protect forests, and reduce pollution, making it one of the most effective individual actions for environmental sustainability. Tips for choosing low-impact foods include: favor dry staples like grains and legumes over perishable imports. Select in-season produce to avoid energy-intensive greenhouses, and buy minimally processed foods. Processing and packaging often add more emissions than the farming itself.